respected Principal Sir, Speaker of the Day, Mr. Sahil Khan, faculty members, and dear students. Thank you for joining us today. On behalf of Alumni Committee of Swami Shraddhanand College, University of Delhi, I, Nitin, welcome you all for today's session, which is a part of Alumni Talk series. Well, today we have a very young, dynamic, and talented guest speaker with us. He is Mr. Sahil Khan. Mr. Sahil is a valuable alumnus of Department of English of our college. Welcome, Mr. Sahil, and it's our pleasure to have you with us today. To start the program, I first invite our very supportive and motivating principal, uh, Professor Praveen Garg, sir, for his words of blessings. Over to you, sir. Over to you, principal, sir.
Professor Garg, can you hear us?
Principal sir, you are requested to unmute yourself. You muted yourself. Kindly unmute yourself, sir.
I think I will address. Meanwhile, Dr. Palaka, please ring up Professor Garg, and then after me, he can speak. In the meantime, I will speak.
Okay, further, I invite our very dedicated, hardworking convener, Dr. Archana ma'am. She's also a great motivation for all the alumni committee members, I must say. And I invite you, ma'am, for your enlightening words. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nitin. And it's my pleasure to work for the alumni committee. And each weekend, we are getting a unique blossoming flower of our garden, and this makes it a very complete and worthwhile garden, and we are very happy to be the gardeners of for these flowers to blossom. So today we are very happy that the English department has brought their guest, I would say now guest, although his family also, who is, you can see, very young, handsome, and very much optimistic and bright and ready to give, a giver. This kind of a person, Mr. Sahil Khan, is here, whose candidature will be read by Dr. Saroj, his teacher. And so we are very happy. And I would like to put on record that we are very grateful to our principal, sir, Professor Praveen Garg, and also all the teachers of all the departments who have actually literally queued up now. Now we are having advance booking of many weeks ahead from now, and we are able to give the variety to the present students. This activity is very important because people who have tread on this path already and made it big for themselves, they are here to motivate their juniors, the younger generation. And so we are very lucky. We can't count our blessings. We are so blessed that the college support is there. The alumni are smiling and coming and spending their weekend morning precious time which they could have used for resting. They are spending to be with their own college, their alma mater, and their family actually. So congratulations, Department of English. I do believe and know there are many more to come like this. But I would like to add in the end that Sahil doesn't belong to only English. He belongs to all of us. We are a family, and the family head, Professor Praveen Garg sir, is here. So now I would request Professor Garg to enlighten us, to bless Sahil and everybody else over here. So over to you, sir, and looking forward to Sahil. Thank you. Over to Dr. Garg.
Thank you, Dr. Archana. It is my pleasure that continuously our alumni association, along with the help of other departments, and of course with the consent of alumni, conducting such a program for the last 2 months. So today also alumni, a student from English department, has given his assent to uh, to give us a few minutes from his precious schedule. And I am thankful to Department of English also, Dr. Plakaji, Dr. Saroj Bala, and Dr. Naresh ji also here. And from the alumni committee, Dr. Namrata ji is also here, Shiva is also here. So with these words, I again give my heartiest wishes for the successful completion of this series, I should say, not this program, of this series, which will continue for long, I wish, in the interest of the students and all the stakeholders. Today, Mr. Sahil ji has given his consent to deliver the few prints of his journey from Swami Shraddhanand College to BHEL and to Senior Executive HRD. So I am happy that our alumni are getting such a positions, and our alumni association under the leadership of Archana ji is doing a great job of inviting people not only in the government jobs. And I mean to say, basic perception of student remains that we should move to the government jobs. So earlier also some personalities, I should say, from the private jobs was there. But now today, I think Sahil ji is the first one, which is a combination of a semi-government one. Government, public sector plus private sector. It is a kind of a public sector, I should say. I will not go into details of BHEL. So it is a quasi-government, I should say, organization, tilted towards government job only. So with these words, I wish all our stakeholders, particularly students, will be benefited from the hardships, conveniences, struggles of Sahil ji. He will discuss all the problems, not only the green points, but अड़चन आल्सो, क्या क्या अड़चने आई, कैसे कैसे इन्होंने अपने जीवन को कार्य रूप दिया, इंग्लिश ऑनर्स की नॉलेज फ्रॉम अवर कॉलेज एंड हिज ओन डिटर्मिनेशन, हार्ड वर्क, एप्टीट्यूड, tilt towards public organizations. So all will be helpful to our students, and we wish Sahil ji will also make a visit to our college anytime when he feels free, and will enlighten us physically also in some kind of programs. With these words, again I congratulate Dr. Archana ji for successful completion of such a series, and hand over the mic to her to proceed further. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate everything which you said, but I would like to add a little bit. Let's wish that it is never completed and this journey goes on. Either we do or somebody else does, but the college journey of alumni meetings and motivation goes on. So I would say, kabhi alvida na kehna. I would like to say that. So,
but madam, every Saturday मेरे ऊपर भारी पड़ जाता है थोड़ा सा.
सर आप 5 मिनट के लिए भी आ सकते हैं. It's all right, sir. But sir, आपके 5 मिनट से कितने लोगों को कितनी मोटिवेशन मिल रही है, तो it's worth. So, sir, हम भी आते हैं, but yes, sir. So we are very happy to spend our time like this. And Professor Jagbir is here. Thank you for coming, Professor Jagbir. I've seen you for the first time in this meet. Most welcome and congratulations for your promotion, well-deserved promotion. So I now give the charge to Dr. Saroj, my very close friend and very pious personality, I would say, worth emulating. So ma'am, over to you to take the program forward, you and your team. Thank you so much
for your kind words. And sir has already set the tone by, his encouraging words, and he's always motivating us. But since it has to be a formal welcome, so I will do my duty. Respected Principal Sir, Professor Parveen Gargji, my worthy colleagues, our guest alumni, and dear students, I extend a very warm welcome to you all. Under the guidance of our dynamic and motivating Principal Sir and our alumni committee has worked relentlessly to create a web of our alumni from all subjects in the college so that our students don't keep wondering what next after their graduation. I'm sure that they would be more focused, zealous, and relaxed after engaging fruitfully with somebody from among them. So I, along with my colleagues from the department, feel so happy that in the string of alumni webinars initiated by our college, we have been given this opportunity to invite our alumni to interact with and motivate our students. Since 2004, when English Honours, which is one of the most sought after course, was introduced in the college, our students have been writing their success stories in diverse fields like government jobs, teaching, PSUs, and Sir has also just mentioned about PSU. We have the first speaker from that field. Then hospitality industry, modeling, and corporate sector. So Mr. Sahil Khan from our first batch is here with us to share his success story. And our students are going to be highly motivated and benefited, I'm sure, for that. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity, Archana ji, and your team, Namrata ji. Thank you so much.
I think it's over to Sahil now.
So,
Dr. Palaka would give a brief introduction about Sahil Khan before he.
Okay.
Yeah.
Acting.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Respected principal, Professor Garg, and alumni committee, Dr. Archana, Dr. Namrata, and others, dear colleagues and alumni, including Sahil. Others also have joined, I could see. And it's definitely a great moment. It's a pride for the college, but the department wants to snatch that. We are more proud, maybe, to see our alumnus doing great in their life. And I would begin with, I know people are excited to listen to Sahil, and that's why Dr. Archana already declared, let's listen to Sahil. But I would just briefly introduce Sahil to the worthy audience. I would begin with Isaac Newton's quote, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. I don't know if teachers can be giants, but definitely the job of the giants, students are able to see further in their life. Surely, I was going through Sahil Khan's profile. Is considering his age is a huge one. He is definitely working as senior executive HRD, corporate learning and development at BHEL, Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited. He is a prolific HR and HRD practitioner over a decade of rich experience, and he is a seasoned, corporate trainer in entrepreneurship and innovation. After completing his graduation in English in our college, he had joined PG here in the Department of English, but then he left that and went for PG diploma in radio and TV journalism, joining Indian Institute of Mass Communication. That's the most prestigious institute for mass communication. After that, he did his MBA, Marketing and HR from Jamia Millia Islamia. He has done various, certificate courses as a trainer from different reputed institutes. And in fact, he has written research papers on grooming, millennials. That's the young people of today's. So without wasting time, I would invite Sahil on behalf of the department, on behalf of Swami Sudhanand College, to take his time. Thank you.
So thank you, Prabhakar sir, for a very generous introduction. I'm extremely thankful for extending the invite to me. I'm thankful to Principal sir and all the faculty members and the dear students. It would be fair to give and acknowledge some of my teachers who had of late superannuated, and that was Madam Anita Marwa, Dr. Pankaj Bhan. I'm not sure about Dr. Y.K. Sharma. I hope that he continues teaching. And of course, Saroj Bala ma'am is here. I remember she taught us Wordsworth, Romantics. Dr. Prabhakar Palaka, who was our coach, mentor, the backbone of he was a kind of a support. We always looked up to him for any kind of help. And, he was the one who brought perhaps English Honors to the department. And his grooming, in fact, made us what we are today. Madam Kuhu Chanana, Mr. Pankaj, Mr. Vijay, and there were some other faculty who were working as ad hoc. I still remember them. One was Mr. Akam Zamir, who made a great, who was really, he left a mark on us. There were other teachers whose name I don't remember. Now, I am amongst the giant killers. The teachers are called giant killers. Nobody can, since Prabhakar sir talk about giants, so I would say that they are the giant killers. They are the one who actually make, people. They are the one, who create and pave paths for young people to grow. They are the one who nurture people. So I'm happy for Swami Shraddhanand College because I passed out from this college in 2007. 2004 to 7, I was in Shraddhanand College. I was not a very bright student during my college days. I would say I was a mediocre. And many of you may not know it. In fact, in my first year, I failed in 2 subsidiary. And those were economics and Hindi. So when I'm not from Delhi, I came from a state which used to be called Bimaru, Bihar, Patna. So my mother said, unless you pass, I will stop sending you your money. So from first year, my struggle started because I failed in economics and Hindi. Economics was a very, very difficult subject during those days. And many of my friends who were doing honors, they chose political science, Sanskrit. I was the unluckiest, unfortunate soul. And you know what? Why did I took economics? Because I was not given any option. I went for the admission, and there used to be a Tau. I don't know what was his name. He superannuated long back. And he gave me only one choice. And he was speaking in a typical Haryanvi with a very intimidating tone. After a while, I realized that he was very, that's how he speaks. That's his style. And he said, the boy, you have only one choice and don't waste my time. So you have 2 minutes to decide. And then in my 2 minutes, I took economics. Hindi, I took it very lightly. I thought Hindi is like we always speak, day in, day out. It's nothing big deal in Hindi. And our focus was mostly on honors. And, once the first year results were out, it was very humiliating for me that I failed in economics and Hindi. Second year, unfortunately, I again failed. That was economics, second paper. That was, I guess it was macroeconomics. I again failed in economics. Now the third year, the pressure built on me that unless I pass my subsidiary, I will not be getting my honors degree. And I was told that be ready for your BA. It used to be BA program. Yeah, no honors, BA program. So under tremendous pressure, I had to clear all my honors paper and 3 subsidiary. So I would say that was a great achievement for me at Swami Shraddhanand College, that in third year, I was able to clear all my subsidiary. Well, I never knew that. I thought this my relationship with economic is over once I've passed out from the college. But I never knew that this subject is going to be with me for quite a long time. After I joined MBA, I found two papers in economics. One was, again, microeconomics. Second was macroeconomics. The struggle again started. But then I realized that I cannot take this subject lightly. The lesson that I've learned in Shraddhanand helped me to pass out these two papers in my MBA with flying colors. Of course, Hindi was not part of that. Now, the part of my deliberation would be, I would like to show, since my interest is in innovation and entrepreneurship, so is it okay with the group if I show some slides along with videos? And then we can take up the questions?
Yes, it would be very interesting, Sahil.
Yeah, so I'm sharing my screen. Let me know if it is visible. I will also be taking up question as and when. Is it visible to everyone? Just say yes or no.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, it is visible.
So I would like to talk about the company which I represent. It is called Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, and it's one of the Maharatna's PSU. PSUs, I'm sure many of you know. Those who are not aware about the PSU, it's a public sector undertaking. And I will also show the shareholding pattern. So 61%, over 61% is with Government of India. Now, this company is into manufacturing of power equipment. So the relationship goes like this. BHEL manufactures power plant equipment, which is being bought by another PSU, another Maharatna PSU called NTPC. NTPC uses those power equipment and generate electricity. And then there is another PSU called Power Grid, which is into transmission and takes that electricity to your home. So we are, into the business of energy sector. In terms of our power generation capacity, the cumulative figure is 56% and installed capacity is around 54%. We have been making in India since our inception in 1954, and from 1964, entire range of products being manufactured in India. The share of Government of India is around 63.1%. Our footprint across India is in 16 places, and we have over 150 project size. And of course, if you talk in terms of our global presence, we are present in 84 countries. As of now, we have already generated 190 plus gigawatt power generating equipment. And in terms of, we are also serving in industry. So 1,000 plus utility plants have been commissioned. 47% we have contributed in nuclear sector also, and in our share in hydrogen generation is 45%. Of late, the world is moving to the clean technology, to renewables, which are going to be the future. So here also our presence, though is very small, but we are making slow inroads. So around 1,200 megawatt of total solar plant have been installed by BHEL. We are a known name in railways, and we have been over 50% of rolling stock for Indian Railway has been manufactured and delivered by BHEL. In defense, yes, we have been providing gun mount to Indian Navy. Of late, we have also partnered with some international player to get into another, strategic manufacturing of defense equipment for our armed forces. In terms of number that people we employ is around 30,000, out of which we have 8,000 engineers, and rest of them we have called supervisors and artisans. We are the only company which spends more than around 2.5% of turnover on R&D. That's very, very important. For any engineering company to survive, R&D is very, very important. So perhaps one of the few companies in India which spends 2.5% of the turnover on R&D. As of now, over 4,500 intellectual capital has been filed. Many patents are in our name. And we have also collaborated with of course, technical academic institutes for our research and development initiatives. These are our presence in India. this. If you look at our product profile, we are into thermal and gas, into hydro, nuclear. Since pollution is the big challenge these days, so we are also have come up with a product which actually helps company to reduce pollution. So that is for emission control equipment. Power plants, new thermal power plants are not coming up. So what we are doing is we are also trying to help companies to revive and improve the efficiency of their existing power plant. We have also made great inroads in transmission. Renewables, yes, I would say that is a one area which is BHL's strength, and BHL is making a good inroad in renewables also. We have a presence in oil and industry, transportation. E-mobility is a new area where we have diversified of late, and since with the government came up with the scheme of smart city, so water treatment and cleaning the sewers, and the world has moved to sustainability and circular economy, and water plays very important part in this circular economy. So water treatment, and that's also a very precious resource, so it must be preserved. So BHL is also helping communities, companies, states, industries in water treatment, and in industry our presence goes almost 3 decades. These are some new areas where BHL is heavily investing. These are the areas which is going to reap result for BHEL, which is on, of course, everyone talks about EV. So we have been making inroads in EV, but we are also spending a good amount of our money on R&D of Leon cells PV model. And many of our PV modules are being used by ISRO. Many satellites which has been launched by ISRO uses BHEL cell. We are also working meticulously in developing technology for converting coal to methanol for greener use of Indian coal. Then we are also trying to get into e-mobility, wherein we can have a good market share in transportation business also. And battery storage system is also one area which has the future in this country, and BHL is heavily investing in it. So briefly, I'll talk about my journey. So that's how my journey started. From Swami Shraddhanand College, I've done my BA Honours English. And from there, I moved to Indian Institute of Mass Communication, where I've done this PG Diploma in Radio TV Journalism. Subsequently, I went to Jamia Millia for MBA in Marketing. And then when I joined BHL, I was sent for 1-year course at IIM Calcutta. And subsequently, after a gap of 3 years, I was also sent to IIM Bangalore. So now I wish to know the students, there is a picture on a screen for you. What does this picture look like? If somebody could read out the chat conversation for me, I want some responses on this picture. What does this picture look like? Any wild guess would do for me. If I don't get response, it appears that I'm indulging in monologue and I'm talking to my screen. So what does this picture look like? Just look at it.
Hydro power point, it's written, Sahil. Hydro
No,
power point, energy plant. I'm reading it out for you.
Okay, hydro, energy plant, all right. What
Dam.
else?
The next
Dam.
one is dam.
Okay,
Yes.
interesting. From power plant to dam. What else? So since I am from power sector, does not mean it's a power plant. All right. What else?
Students, please attempt.
What does it look like?
You can attempt free.
Construction
Don't
site.
be scared. Yeah,
Construction site. Okay, great. Yeah, it's a construction site. But what?
For power plant?
No.
Okay.
By the way, let me spill the bean for you. It's an abandoned quarry. You know what quarry is?
Yes.
Yes. What does quarry do?
Quarry do.
What is a quarry? You use for the mining purposes. So this is an
Yes.
abandoned quarry in a country called China, which has become, or rather, an epicenter of innovation and entrepreneurship.
Okay.
Now, any
Thank you.
guesses what they have done to this quarry? Let me show you something for you.
Okay.
What does it do? What does it look like? The second picture on your screen. Do you find any connection between any relationship between the first picture and the second picture?
It
is
can be
this
blueprint type of
It's a blueprint.
or it can be constructed later on.
I
I don't
think
know.
it is already
Can't tell you.
something, the previous one is
Existing.
a complete
Yeah,
structure of
but
the
what?
previous one.
Yeah, but what, ma'am? What has been completed? What has
Is it
been?
some kind of residential or some for because we have reading stories being from
Yeah,
literary background. It
very
looks
true.
like some kind of residential or office space. There was a big story long time back. We read about a colony which was earlier established under the surface of the earth, and people could work round the clock. There was
Yeah,
no concept of day and night. Maybe
yeah.
that kind of
But that was fiction. This is reality, ma'am.
looks like
So
the fiction
some
has started come
there
to
are some
materialize.
messages on the chat box,
Yeah,
like it's a underwater hotel
Yeah,
or some
it's a
apartments or
okay.
commercial accommodation.
All right.
yeah.
Good enough. Yeah. So it's a welcome to the world of Shanghai Wonderland. This is a 5-star resort, which someone crazy enough in China to convert abandoned quarry into a 5-star resort.
Yes.
Look at the way where the world is moving. So for your
Wow.
thing, I have actually got this video also. Just a second. Yeah. So look at it, what they have done to this. It's an old video now. It's already, the operation has started in 2019. Well, the hotel operation has already started in 2019, and it's a like Burj Khalifa. It's our next big thing to go. Now the purpose is to show that your wildest idea could convert can be transformed into a greatest opportunity. So nobody thought that a abandoned quarry could also be converted. Now here is another googly for you. Those who are brand conscious, they know about this company called Brooks and Brothers. Any idea what do they do, Brooks and Brothers? It's an international brand. All right, so let me spill the bean for you. They are into clothing. They into designer clothing, and they're a very well known and respected brand across the globe. This I'm sure that I know Shraddhanand people are very sports enthusiasts. Many of my friends were into basketball and cricket and all. I'm sure that you know another brand called New Balance. Everyone, our attendees, I'm sure they know this brand called New Balance. Yes, they were into mostly into shoe, and they also make other sports equipment. But can you guess what they were doing during the first wave of COVID-19? Any idea? Anyone? What was the crisis all about, and what were the major, products required to fight Corona in the first wave? Any guesses? All right, let me
We
give you.
take its
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Now tell me one inalienable part of your existence today. You cannot go out without that product. What is it?
Masks,
Absolutely.
sanitizers.
Bang on. You are right. And you know what? The company which is into international cloth manufacturing, a great brand, and another company which is into sports, when there was a call for of duty, they have started manufacturing
Shoes.
mask, which was required in a huge number across the globe. If you look at the product profile also, it's completely different. How could a cloth manufacturer, international brand which is only in designing, or a sports manufacturer could turn into a manufacturer for mass? But then this is what is called agility. This is what is called when there is a need from the market, the companies have to respond to those needs. I'm sure everyone knows about Elon Musk and his great company called Tesla. Are you aware about this company, Tesla?
Yes, sir.
What does Tesla do?
Car manufacturing.
So it makes electric cars.
Electric car, absolutely correct. And Tesla was also known for another reason a few months back. They have sent something to space. What was that? The closest competitor for NASA. You know NASA?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have sent something in space. Now they are competing with NASA. Come on, what does NASA do? What do they send?
Sir, private space tourism, sir.
Sorry?
Private
Satellite.
space tourism.
Yes, they've sent a private rocket to space. Tesla, yes, correct. Now there is another company, I'm sure everyone knows Ford. Ford is known, it was in news also, they have concluded their operation in India. So
Yes,
what
sir.
do Ford do? What is their main core?
Automobile
area?
sector, sir, car manufacturers.
For
Yeah.
automobiles.
Absolutely correct. But what were they doing? The second most precious equipment required in the fight against COVID-19 is what? After mask. When you are severely ill, and you are
Oxygen, sir. Oxygen.
oxygen. But you need an equipment to help you with the oxygen. What that equipment is?
Oximeter.
Not oximeter. That is to measure
Oxygen
the
cylinders.
Cylinders are needed for
cylinder is for storage.
yeah transportation.
No.
Transportation.
One. There was acute crisis of this equipment across the globe. Everyone was talking about this equipment. We need to manufacture this equipment. That's a life-saving equipment.
Sir, vaccine.
Yes, correct. Somebody said ventilator. Now, company like Tesla, who are into electric vehicle and sending rocket in space, and another company which is into automobile sector, they started manufacturing equipment which was in dire need called ventilator. Now, this is about my company. So my company is into, this is one of the turbine blade which is manufactured at one of our division in Hardwar. So we are into, as I said, we are into power equipment manufacturing. So our equipments are huge, and it's also called capital goods services. This is called a boiler drum. This is a drum in which heating of water is done. Basic science, everyone knows that how electricity is generated. So you need a boiler drum wherein you put the water, and the water is then fired by the coal, and it is heated. Then heat goes and it turns the turbine, and the turbine moves, and then electricity is generated. Now, when there was a tough need, there was a need for medical supplies in India. Company like BHEL have also responded. We started manufacturing. What is this? What does it look like?
Ventilators.
It's not ventilator. What does it look like? The second, there is a hand
That
in
is not visible.
Okay.
Not clearly visible.
Still not visible, ma'am?
Not
Hand
able to
sanitizer.
see
Yeah, correct.
properly.
Yeah.
Sanitizer.
Yes.
Right.
So we are into sanitizer. We started manufacturing sanitizer. We for quite some time. We also started manufacturing ventilator. And another very important part is called Bale Mister. This is a product which was manufactured by one of our unit in South India, and it is a kind of a sanitizing machine which could sanitize the entire. Any physical place could be sanitized by it. Of late, in the second wave, we have also started putting up oxygen, manufacturing oxygen for the oxygen which were manufactured for industrial use were converted and were diverged to hospitals. So in second wave, we used to send oxygen supplies to many Delhi-based hospital. We have also sent it to other part of North India, mostly in Uttarakhand. So a power equipment company started manufacturing, hand sanitizer and a ventilator. Now, why I am showing this? What is the purpose of showing, and why should I show it to the young people who are studying English honors or anything, any other course in a college called Swami Shraddhanand College? What is the purpose of showing this? Why these companies are getting into the areas which are not their domain areas? They are not expert into these areas. This is not their core competency. Think of yourself that English honors is expected to teach geography.
Actually, that was demand and supply.
Absolutely. You rightly said, ma'am, economics is always with me. Though I failed in economics, I never thought that economics would be with me. So it's like demand and supply. It's always the market which drives you. The company, the business exists because of the market. So market required those equipments, and that's why those companies started manufacturing also. Now, I thought that I will be talking about growth mindset. So before growth mindset, how many of you know about a company called Apple? Yeah.
So me.
What does Apple do? What is their main product? And let me ask you two questions. What was the first product Apple came up with in market? And what is the latest product that Apple has launched in 2021?
First of all, mobile.
Absolutely wrong. It was not a mobile phone.
What was that?
The MacBook, I think.
Before MacBook, there is another product Apple came up with.
Motherboard was the first product.
No.
Apple computer.
Absolutely correct, Abhishek. You know what? Apple was the one company which has revolutionized. And you know what? We should be thankful to a company called Apple that we are using personal computer at houses. Computers were used mostly for industrial purposes, and there used to be huge mainframe. IBM was one other company which was Apple's closest competitor, and they used to manufacture huge mainframe computers which are mostly used in offices. Here was a guy crazy enough to think that why can't we give computers to every home? People can have computer at their places. And I would like to show you one very famous ad that Apple has come up, and I'm sure many of you know that you have seen this ad also, but then to provoke your mindset, I would definitely love to show it once again.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
I'm sure that you have seen this. Anyone who has not seen this ad? And let me come back to my second question. My second question was the latest product that Apple has launched last month only, last month, I guess. What is the latest product they've
So
launched?
iPhone 13 Pro.
Absolutely correct. So it's a 13 Pro is another product. Now, what I'm trying to tell you, my friends, is that look at a company whose journey begins with a personal computer. And from personal computer, they are into what? Now tell me which one product of Apple which brings maximum revenue for this company.
Mobile phone.
Okay, mobile phone could be one. Okay, what? Any more guesses?
Apple Watches.
Okay, you have the access to Google. How would this company wish to be called? How do they want to be recognized as a company which manufactures
Searching engine.
what?
Searching engine, sir.
Search engine? No. Apple. I'm talking about Apple. Acha, what is so different about Apple and other phones? What is so different about these two?
Privacy, sir. Something privacy.
What actually, what part of technology is being used to protect the privacy of the customers who use Apple product?
Processing system.
So they have their own Play Store, a different Play Store. They don't use the common one.
Yeah, you're very close to it. But what is that?
Mac.
You have heard about something called Android?
Android.
iOS.
Yes, right.
So what is
iOS.
the
iOS.
Absolutely correct. Yes,
I-
iOS. iOS is the unique feature that Apple boasts about. They are the one. Can you use another phone charger for Apple? Can you use it in Apple? No. Can you use another company's headphone in Apple? No. Hell lot of countries and government across the world put pressure on Apple to dilute their encryption. What is encryption? End-to-end encryption. And on WhatsApp also it comes. Your chat is protected. End-to-end encryption. That's what iOS gives to its customer. Now I'm trying to show you, my dear friends, look at the journey of this company. The company which started out from garage and that to manufacturing personal computer into iOS. And this is happening because market demands it. Market demands it. And the company who has to survive has to align its product and services with the market. Now, why I'm showing it, my dear friends, that one study was done last year during pandemic by LinkedIn, and they have conducted a small study on what are the important critical skills, software skills required for individual and organization to survive and thrive. In this pandemic, survival is most important for we as a human race and also for our organization. First is to survive. So the one skill which got maximum rating was growth mindset. And growth mindset was followed by creativity, focus, mastery, innovation. So I would focus on the 4 elements. Now tell me one thing, my question to the group is, who's attending this session, this deliberation, what is the relationship between growth mindset, creativity, focus, mastery, and innovation? And you have the option to Google it also. Do you find any relationship between growth mindset, creativity, focus, mastery, and innovation? Any linkage then?
HR.
HR? Okay.
No.
Okay. What HR has to do with growth mindset, creativity, and innovation?
Means keeping the communication on, creating public relations.
Okay, public relation. Okay, I don't know. I mean, growth mindset.
So entrepreneurship.
What is entrepreneurship,
Right.
by the way? What is entrepreneurship? Who are
So
entrepreneurs?
it's all about.
Yeah.
So I think it's all about creativity, growth mindset.
Yeah, you're correct. You're absolutely correct. You see,
Right,
entrepreneurship
right.
is the right answer. But who are entrepreneurs? Are you an entrepreneur? Am I an entrepreneur? The faculties here, are they the entrepreneur? How do you define entrepreneur?
It's a
Business-
creator of a new product.
Business
Somebody who's creative. Of okay, what else? And
And-
what is creativity?
To be
They are
able to
primarily
think,
innovators.
They are primarily
Manufacturers.
innovators. Yeah. Okay, great. What else?
and to be able to think out of the box
Yes,
on
correct.
your own.
Correct. You have seen the Apple example. They are the misfits. Crazy enough. Nobody
Yeah.
believed them. They have their own
And-
belief system. I know.
Yeah.
And why? Because
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
always wanted to change the world. They challenged the status quo. In Apple ad, you have seen. What did they say? They're not comfortable with existing system and product. They challenged the status quo. So, like in our those who are from literature, I still remember, and I would request my teachers to correct me. We read some criticism. There used to be literary criticism, so Marxist criticism, feminist criticism, and there were other form of criticism also. The purpose to ensure that you get multiple insight about that literary piece. So is the case with people who challenge status quo. There could be another way which could be most effective, which could drive innovation, which could be cost effective, and which could also serve humankind. After all any company or product which exists should serve the humankind. The preservation of humankind is most important. So I was coming back, entrepreneurship. Somebody said they are creative, they are out of box, they are innovative. So can you name 3 young entrepreneurs in India? Do you know 3 young entrepreneurs in India? Any idea? Guys, do you know 3 young entrepreneurs in India?
Sir, Ritesh Agrawal,
Ritesh Agrawal.
Amitav Saha.
Absolutely. And what does Ritesh Agrawal does?
Sir, he is the CEO of OYO.
Absolutely. When did he started OYO?
Sir, I think in 2012. No, 2017.
17, 12. Okay. He was very young, 18. Okay, one is Ritesh Agrawal. Who else? Who else? This is the age of entrepreneurship. This is the age of young people driving innovation. The country is known for innovation. India is, I will show you the data also. All right, so let me help you out with a small video.
Sir, Nitin Kamath.
Okay, I'll show you one small video. Probably this would help you understand how young people are driving.
After dropping out of college, he launched his first startup, Oracle Stays, which was a budget hotel chain that provided B&B. To improving his business model, he relaunched Oracle as OYO, which was short for On Your Own, and became one of the most successful young entrepreneurs in India. Begins with only 11 rooms in Gurgaon Hotel, OYO Rooms is now a hub for elite hotel stays with 65,000 rooms in about 5,500 properties across India. The next in line is Bhavish Agrawal. Coming from an IIT's family, Bhavish Agrawal, an IITB alumnus, founded the most popular cab aggregator of India, Ola Cabs. He received the M Billions Award South Asia 2013, the best startup of the year by IAMAL, and got listed in the 30 under 30 by Forbes. This young man revolutionized the cab service in India by connecting it well with smartphones. The only thing that made Ola Cab different from other cab services at that time was the full use of smartphone and GPS technology that made it easier for the user to board the car and travel. He achieved all this after quitting from a lavish job at Microsoft. No one supported this idea, but it was his strong will, determination, and power to take this skill life that led him to the pinnacle of success. Today, he is one of the most successful entrepreneurs in India. Vijay Shekhar Sharma, the stepping stone of digitalized India, was laid down by Paytm, which was started by Vijay Shekhar Sharma. Vijay Shekhar is from Aligarh. He couldn't sit for competitive exams just because of his poor English. After working on many projects and small startups during the graduation from Delhi College of Engineering, Vijay finally took a huge risk of investing $2 million and founded 197, the parent company of Paytm, giving the Indians the service of internet wallet, paying by scanning the QR code, easy bill payments, etc. Led to the success of this company, and he became the most successful tech entrepreneur in India. Paytm Karo, every street, colony, nukkad, either be small vendor or huge shopping complex, every transaction is now an authentically saved for Paytm. The online transaction chain very successfully made a bang on e-commerce. The next comes Byju Ravindran. By giving this nation the concept of online education with a special package for preparation of computer exams, Byju's app helped thousands of students who struggle with mathematics, science, and cracking the hardest exams like JEE, NEET, and UPSC. Ravindran is an engineer who worked in a shipping firm, stepped into the field of teaching accidentally when he thought his friends for CAT exam and they cleared it with flying colors. He then fell in love with teaching and found his true passion. He is today spreading his knowledge with a group of brilliant minds through video tutorials. He started it all with an initial investment of just 2 lakh, which has now grown to 3,300 crores. Next is Panindra Sama. Redbus has made booking bus tickets way easier than before, and it all started when its founder, Panindra Sama, could not go home for Diwali due to the notorious Bangalore traffic. He realized some key issues with the existing bus model and found the internet has the best medium for solving these issues by putting together information on the platform where customers could easily access it and take better decisions. By April 2014, Redbus launched hotel booking powered by iBook Group, followed by the Redbus teaming up with the Uber. And nothing can compare with the encouragement of the youngsters more than listening to the success stories of visionary entrepreneurs. The journey has not been comfortable with strikes, shortage of labor and workforce, policy changes, corruptions, and economic slowdowns. Still, they started from nothing and rose to the top of game over years in Indian growth history. We salute these young achievers and hope they continue to inspire us all to drive success. That's all, guys. Register with Precious.
So you could see three companies which has been, of course, you all have been using Ola, and you all have been using Byju is one area. By the way, I will come to that also. Tell me one thing, if I have to ask you, during the COVID-19, which started from March 2019 onwards, there was a severe lockdown across the globe. Companies have suffered a lot. They bled a lot of cash. People were mostly confined to their homes. But there must be some companies which have grown. Can you guess which companies have grown during this lockdown? Any idea?
Sir, Geo. Byju's is one. Byju's.
Yes, the
Sir,
Sir,
pharmaceutical
an academy.
companies.
Okay, great.
Sir, Geo.
Geo. So what is the
Sir,
common
an academy.
between Baiju and Khan Academy and Ola and other thing that somebody said Google and all, and what are this common? There is a common thread.
Sir, online platform.
Absolutely, technology. Technology. That's correct. For instance, I don't know how are you attending your classes these days?
Sir, via online mode.
Absolutely online. Have you ever thought in your life before 2019 that you're gonna attend your college days sitting before your laptop?
No, sir.
No, sir. So nobody knows. Life is full of surprises. This is another surprise to you. And this, what I'm trying to suggest to my youth, dear friends, that these young entrepreneurs, it's not a rosy picture for them when they started off. The guy who started off Ola left his job at Microsoft. He was working and he was getting good salary at Microsoft. But then he left and he took chances. So one important factor and one important element about entrepreneur is also risk taking. You should have some guts, fire in your belly to take risk. Can you come out of your status quo? Can you come out of your safe job and take risk? If you can't take risk, you will not survive. So that one very, 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 of course, out of box and innovative and what are other things that you have said is absolutely correct. About Steve Jobs also, he was a college dropout, so was Microsoft founder. They were in very, very good colleges. And as I really liked Ratan Tata's quote, all the great companies which is changing world around us has started from garage. So can you believe it? It's not that from either it is a garage or college. So colleges across the world also have incubation centers wherein they promote innovations. They help people to develop a mindset of an entrepreneur who are creative, who could challenge the status quo, who could think differently, and who the innovation does not mean, or entrepreneurship does not mean that you come up with a revolutionary product and you got a name and everyone start knowing you. It takes time. Maybe it could be incremental innovation, very small, change. Maybe while you are writing your exam, you could think of something new, some other way of getting yourself evaluated, or help your faculty in terms of promoting, effective way of, this facilitation part. Now, it is very, very challenging for the teachers also. I'm sure the teachers here would agree with me to engage their participants on the online platform. You do not know. I mean, people come there, they have logged in and they have switched off their, camera, and they would not respond. And there some, standard responses are, internet is slow, my chat box is not working. Now, how do this teacher engage you? See, these teachers have nothing to lose. They are here, they will groom you. But the onus of your growth and development is on you. It's on your shoulder. So it is your responsibility to ensure that you have come up with something innovative to ensure that you learn in a way which is never thought of. So probably after this today's deliberation, you come up with some idea, discuss it with your teachers, and see if it could be implemented. That is also an innovation. Innovation does not mean that straight away you start earning money. No, there are 7 stages of innovation. You start with the idea. So you start generating the ideas, look for the ideas. Think of any wild ideas. Do not, undermine ideas. Just think of an idea. Then you start testing those ideas. Whether your ideas are feasible, can it be implemented? Look for the stakeholders. Like in this case, I said your faculty could be the stakeholder, or the IT department of the Swami Shraddhanand College could be the stakeholder. Present your idea to your stakeholders, and then probably you can come up with a solution. Do the trial run, make a prototype, and then you can execute it. Probably this could be one way of doing it. another googly for you. I think most of you know about. I'm sure that you are in college, so I'm very very sure that you use at least three of these apps. One is WhatsApp, another is Instagram, another is Dropbox. Can you tell me what was the major event during which these products came into existence? The major event which has affected the entire globe, and during that time these products came into existence. WhatsApp, Dropbox, Instagram, Pinterest, Venmo, Groupon, Slack, Square. Dropbox, I'm sure that you must be using because there are a lot of online stuff, a lot of exchange of online stuff. So you need enough space so you can use Dropbox. And WhatsApp and Instagram too. Do you know when it came into existence? Any idea? Anyone? Including teachers?
After recession?
Absolutely correct. 2010 onwards, when there was a global meltdown. This is also called subprime mortgage crisis. Started off from US, spread across the globe. When there was a complete, and it started off with the collapse of an investment banking company called Lehman Brothers. And during that crisis also, people could not got swayed with the fear. They were resilient enough, and they have come up with a solution and a product which is making wonders in today's time. And these are the products. So what I'm trying to suggest to you is that tough time is a breeding ground for innovators, for entrepreneurs, the people who could make full use of the crisis. Crises are not here to stay. They come and go. Now the winners are those who exploit, make full use of the crisis. And there are some, these are the burning example of the companies, and they have come up with the product during the tremendous crisis of. Now, I'm sure you know about these companies: Foodpanda, Justice, Swiggy, Eats, Zomato. Anyone who is not aware and not ordered or not availed the services of these food aggregators? I'm sure everyone has used it, especially in the lockdown. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, yes.
Absolutely correct. Do you know this company?
Yes, sir. Comes in the after COVID era. Provide the hair home service.
I got it. Yeah, students require grooming. So good that you avail the services. What else they do? You just go and see their app. My God, they're into everything, right from bridal makeup to the repair of your equipments that you use at home, be it AC, fridge, to grooming, to hair cutting. Everything is being done by this company. And this company is what? It's just an app. And through app, they are the aggregator of many services. One of the platform is being used today. Now there's another. These are another companies which has been extensively used during COVID time, and these are the online platform. And I think Google Hangout is being used by your college. So Zoom, Microsoft. Now what I'm trying to suggest is that in the crisis also, these are the companies which are thriving. After 2019, the companies which are into technology, grocery company which are into grocery, e-commerce, pharmacy, and these are the companies which have thrived. They have made inroads, and they have created a new business model to generate revenue and profit. Now, this is, my dear friend, is the right time to act like an entrepreneur. This is the time where there is tremendous crisis and the existing business model has collapsed and crashed. Now tell me one thing, if you have to buy a pair of shoes, what would be your buying pattern? So tell me 5 steps which you will be used if you have to buy a pair of shoes. What would you do? Start with step 1.
We will use our phone.
Use your
So
phone.
research work.
Okay.
Work.
Correct. Somebody said research. You will do the research. What research you will do, ma'am? There is a need for pair
So
of
the
shoes.
best product I want.
Okay. So what you will do is you look for the best product, and that best product is based on what? Based on your need and requirement?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, and comfort.
So realization of understanding and realization of your need, that is, you require a pair of shoes, which could be for many reasons, any reason. Could be that you go for jogging, you play badminton, you play any sports, or you want an extra pair. So there is a need recognition. Then you do the research that based on my need, what are the product being offered in the market, and you will be using internet. Somebody said phone is a platform. Okay, step 1. Step 2.
Sir, analyzing fashion trend.
Okay, analyzing fashion trend, that could come that is a part of the research part, search part. Second, what can be done?
We also compare the rates. We compare the rates also.
Yes, we are a price.
On our price capacity.
Absolutely correct, ma'am. We are a price-sensitive country where price is very, very important, and we are very price-sensitive. And we look for the price. We look for a branded product, that too at an appropriate price also. So we wait for the mega sales, which has, I think, from 3rd October onward, Amazon and Flipkart were on with their big billion sales. So we wait for mega sales also.
And we can't read the in between the lines how they are also raking in billions because of this strategy of mega sale and all that.
That's only it's called, ma'am. It's called a fencing strategy in marketing. Yeah. I'll come back to it. It's a fencing strategy that is only to allure the customers.
Yeah.
They have a very different pricing model also. So once you get into their pricing model, perhaps you'll understand their business model, how do they generate revenue and make profit over it. They are not the one. This is the people used to believe that these e-commerce companies are not making profit. Absolutely wrong concept. They are making good profit. In fact, they have killed many industry. First, they have killed their competitors, and now they started making money. So 2 steps have been done. What is 3rd step? Need recognition, price sensitive. What is 2nd? 3rd, very, very important part. Achha, before 10 years down the line, say when you were very young and there was no e-commerce, how you used to buy a pair of shoes? 10 years down the line, forget 10 years ago when there was no e-commerce, how you used to buy a pair of shoes?
With the help of
reviews of other those who have bought it.
Word of mouth. You used to get it. Okay, but what else?
And going to the shops and
correct.
Yeah.
Physically, you have to visit the store. Yeah, when I was in SSN, there is a place there. I don't remember that place, which is known for this. This is called what? Known for sports equipment. I mean, sports accessories you get. Some distance from Shadran.
Sportson.
I don't remember that exactly. My friends who were from Alipur, they used to take me to those places, and we used to get branded product.
It is near Samaypur Badli.
Correct. Samaypur Badli. Right. Samaypur Badli is the right place. So so first is 10 years down the line when there was no e-commerce. One is first thing is that I had to physically go to the store. Yes or no?
Yes.
And then what used to be our preference? Would we go alone or would we take a friend along?
Friends.
Why friends? Why friends?
Go with the company.
To help.
Correct. You are absolutely correct. With the advisors. You need friends. You need advisory committee. Correct. You need somebody who you have to show and ask for acceptance. Okay, how does it look on me? Is it okay if I buy this pair of shoes? How is the color? Now in today's world, you may not physically go to the store, but you do your research. What do? You have an access to mobile phone or laptop. You go there, you type the product that you want. Now your friend, 10 years down the line, you used to carry a friend. Now your friend has been replaced with something else. Now, if you have to buy a product from the e-commerce website, you do the need recognition, you go to the website, you look at the price. What else you look?
Reviews.
Absolutely correct. Review for the quality assurance. You look for the reviews, the number of the stars that the company has received. So your friend has been removed. Now your physical friend has been removed by your virtual friends whom you are not acquainted to, you are not familiar, you do not know, but you read their reviews. They write reviews, they put their videos, they put their pictures. Unless there is the review of a product is not above 3.5 star, you will not buy it. You will feel that no, the product is not up to mark. Even if it is branded, even if it is Nike or Asics or New Balance, you will not find it. You'll definitely. All right. Done. So what you have done is you have got the need. You then you look at the price. You have also read the review. What else? What next you do? Very
And we have to see return policy also. What are the
Absolutely
policy?
correct. Absolutely correct, ma'am. You are absolutely right. Now you are not going to buy a product from a place where return policy is rigid. Why Amazon is so popular? Why it is so popular? And one reason why Amazon has edge over Flipkart was that their return policy, no question asked. Now Flipkart, of course, has started taking return. No question asked. That's it. You buy any product, doesn't fit you, return it. No question is asked. Isn't it? Yes or no?
Correct.
So what I'm trying to tell you, my dear friends, that existing system and processes, existing business models have gone for a toss. The way companies or the way we as an individual used to live on this this planet called Earth has changed, and that has changed dramatically. Now there is a level playing for everyone. Everyone, perhaps after COVID-19, are on the same ground. Everyone is struggling. Nobody knows when the COVID gonna go. Nobody knows. In spite of your vaccination, see, in US, people were getting vaccinated by Pfizer. Best medicine, yes or no? Pfizer is best as of now. Moderna and Pfizer. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
But there is a talk of third booster shot in US. So the effectiveness of Pfizer and Moderna is only for 6 months. Now they're saying that people may require third shot. So this is also an age of uncertainty. In management parlance, it is called VUCA. That is, the world is volatile. Nobody knows how the business is going to respond. If you look at politics also world over, there is a volatile political situation also happening across the globe. Today only I was reading in newspaper that there is a group of countries called European Union, 27 countries. Correct me if I'm wrong. And today Poland said that there is an interesting ruling from Poland's court which says that there is no legal binding on Poland to be part of European Union. And there is something has also happened. I'm sure that you know, it's called Brexit. So Britain said that they will not going to be part of European Union. So what I'm trying to tell you is that in terms of geopolitics also, there's a lot of volatility. Then there's a lot of uncertainty. You never know when you are physically going to attend the classes in spite of getting vaccinated. Maybe your college start the sessions and you go and attend it. But what if there is a third wave? Definitely they have to close it down. So this hybrid model of even getting education is also going to continue. So that talks about uncertainty. Then the world has also become very, very complex. Now I feel pity for those who are little tight on in terms of using technology. For them, it has become very, very difficult to get educated. Think of people who do not have access to mobile phone, the destitute, the people who are at the margin, the people with less disposable income. They do not have mobile phone, no internet. I don't know how they are getting educated. What is there? So it's very, very complex world. And you would also seen the divide between haves and have-nots have also grown up. Some great companies are, earning, great profit, and others. Look at the petrol prices, the prices of edibles that we require it for our survival. So it has become very, very complex, and last is ambiguous. There is no clarity. Nobody knows which technology can disrupt. Now, great companies, if you ask any great companies which is 100-year-old or maybe 100-year-old, you ask them, who is your biggest competitor? Can you guess what would be their response? Say, if you ask Tata or say BHEL, who is your greatest competitor? What would be my standard reply, or what would be the people from Tata would reply? Can you guess it? Who could be their most dangerous competitor? Any guesses?
They would not be certain about it, about
Sorry?
the competition. They would not be very, very certain about it. Who could be the main rival?
Ambani, Adani.
No.
They are
fighting over future growth, no?
That's okay, but I'm asking that. Okay, let me give you an example. What killed telephone? The telephone that you use, what killed telephone? Which product killed telephone?
Mobile phones.
Mobile
Mobile phones.
Mobile phone.
mobile phone.
I think it was
And
the technology.
Before there was an instrument called pager. Initially,
absolutely,
there used
yes.
to be a
Yes,
pager.
yes,
The
ma'am.
new
Correct.
technology is
So
the
pager, then came mobile phone. What
Yeah.
else? Acha, and what killed clock? That watch, the watch you used to wear. How many of us wear watch? Except now, how many of us wear watch? Do you actually require watch?
No, because we have the mobile phone.
iPhones are-
So look at it. One product which and what killed. Acha, how did Kodak? There is a famous company called Kodak. Kodak, you know that they used to manufacture what?
mo- cameras.
Cameras.
Pictures.
Yeah. But
camera.
what happened to Kodak?
It is nowhere in the scene now.
And which product has killed Kodak?
Mobile phone.
Mobile.
Mobile phone.
I'm
smartphone.
trying to tell you. Okay, look at one product which has killed so many existing products. And these
Also the
products were
alarm clock and the calculator, things like that.
alarm clock, calculator, there are other
Calendars.
calendars. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
These are all Microsoft, Google, all these companies. They are really the killers in a way.
And how do we define the killers, ma'am? There is a term for it. They are
Yeah,
into which industry? They are
The
into-
innovative ideas they have thinking out of. I mean, everything is circular, so this is how perhaps they are controlling everything.
Correct.
So peers, I think.
What is peers?
Competitors.
No, it's called technology. You yourself said technology is the greatest disruptor. It is the greatest disruptor. Who knows, your concept of physically go to colleges may also get disrupted with technology.
Yes.
Tell me one thing, if one has to do a cost benefit analysis, say COVID has gone and the budget has to be sanctioned to Swami Shadanand College. Okay? So how are they going to allocate you the budget? They're definitely going to look at it. Okay, what was your budget during COVID? What part of your teaching pedagogy could be used online? Why do you need to call your people to classroom? So technology is the biggest disruptor, and technology has been killing giants.
And they have started the work from home concept. I
Yes.
think they are not going to open the offices any soon because they are saving their huge bills on electricity and office spaces, etc., transportation.
Absolutely.
So that is also
Absolutely, ma'am. Hybrid. I think Tata is the one company in India which has already given their people to work from home. And you know what? It's not that they're in business. There is no free lunches. There is no free lunches in life. In business, very, very clear. Everything is linked to your top line and bottom line, your turnover and your profit. So for them also it is beneficial because why they are offering and opting for work from home. First is they do not have to pay the rent for their offices. That's a good amount of money. Now they are diverting that amount for the vaccination and the welfare of their employees. Second is flexibility of office hours. Now people can be at ease at home. All they want is the project assigned to them needs to be completed. But there is a flip side to it also. People who are working from home have been complaining about psychological disorder. You know what? When you go to the colleges, it's not only education. It is also to meet with your friends. You make new friends. You share some moments with them. And those things are being missed out on the virtual world.
Sahil, if you can take another 5 minutes and wind up, then we can take up some questions. And I believe that students have been really provoked to think and they would have a lot of questions to ask. That would be nice.
Yes.
Take another 5 minutes
Sure.
Thank you.
So what I was trying to tell you is that it's a time for everyone. It's a very apt time. It's like, forget about that you are intelligent or not intelligent. It's a time that you make full use of your potential. And how do you make full use of your potential? By a very famous quote from, if you get, hand on this book, I would always prefer people to buy this book on mindset. And book is based on the research done by Carol Dweck on mindset. And she says that the concept of IQ, high IQ, has gone. Maybe you have a high IQ, but if you do not develop and dwell on the high IQ, probably you are not going to be a surviving force in the market. So what you can do is you ensure that you build on your ability, and that's a routine work. Like our physical body, how do you build muscles? You do everyday exercise. It's not a one-day affair, isn't it? So similar is the case with the brain. You have to give them some fodder to think upon it. Think of whatever thing that you do. Even if you write your answer, look for an innovative way of writing the answers. Maybe you can use bullet points. Many people underline their answers to focus it. There could be many innovative ways of doing it. And that's what is called growth mindset. And growth mindset is the one area where a lot of research is being done, and especially in the corporate world, a lot of research is being done. Now, there is a relationship between the growth mindset, creativity, and innovation. One is growth mindset. People who dwell on growth mindset, they actually encourage people to take risk. They indulge in a non-traditional way. They challenge the status quo, and they learn from the failures. Failures is not a stepping. They do not get, they overcome the failure. And once you have the growth mindset, you develop creativity, and with creativity come innovation. So probably this was what I wanted to show, and I will end up my deliberation with a small video which BHEL has created for its employee, but it makes sense to the students also. Just a second, let me open it in VLC.
खोलो दरवाजे पर्दे करो किनारे खूटे से बंदी है हवा में लिख के छुड़ाओ सारी आ जाओ पतंग लेके अपनी ही रंग लेके आसमां का शामियाना आज हमें है सजाना क्यों इस कदर हैरान तू मौसम का है मेहमान वो दुनिया सजी तेरे लिए खुद को जरा पहचान तू धूप है छत से बिखर तू है नदी खबर बह चल कहीं उड़ चल कहीं दिल खुश जहां तेरी तो मंजिल है बाकी तुझ में अगर प्यास है, बारिश का घर भी पास है, रोके तुझे कोई क्यों भला, संग संग तेरे आकाश है। खोलो खोलो दरवाजे पर्दे करो किनारे, खूंटे से बंदी है हवा मिल के छुड़ाओ सारे। आ जाओ पतंग लेके अपनी ही रंग लेके, आसमां का शामियाना आज हमें है सजाना। क्यों इस कदर हैरान तू, मौसम का है मेहमान, ओ दुनिया सजी तेरे लिए, खुद को जरा पहचान। तू धूप है छत से बिखर, तू है नदी बेखबर, बह चल कहीं उड़ चल कहीं, दिल खुश जहां तेरी तो मंजिल है वही। तुझ में अगर प्यास है, बारिश का घर भी पास है, रोके तुझे कोई क्यों भला, संग संग तेरे आकाश है। तू धूप है छत से बिखर, तू है नदी बेखबर, बह चल कहीं उड़ चल कहीं, दिल खुश जहां तेरी तो मंजिल है वही। आसमां का रास्ता देखो खुल गया, मिल गया, खो गया था जो सितारा, मिल गया, मिल गया, रोशन हुई सारी जमीन, जगमग हुआ सारा जहां, उड़ने को तू आजाद है, बंधन को ही अब है कहाँ। धूप है छत से बिखर, तू है नदी बेखबर, बह चल कहीं उड़ चल कहीं, दिल खुश जहां तेरी तो मंजिल है वही।
So that's it from my side, sir. Over to you.
May I just take 10 seconds?
Yes,
Dr.
yes, ma'am.
Palaka?
Please. Yes,
So
yes, yes.
we are overwhelmed, Sahil. You are so amazing and awesome. very confident and convincing. And no thanks is enough towards English department of our college for having identified you, groomed you, and brought you to us. And we are not going to leave you. See, whatever you said, nothing was enough. And actually, Dr. Palaka had to draw a line because he wanted the interaction. But for you, with you and your personality, nothing is enough. Dr. Ranjan is dying to say something, and he wrote that a management guru has emerged. Many congratulations, many blessings, and wishing you lots of more power to go on like this, beta.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, it was amazing. Amazing, Sahil. God bless you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Palaka. Thank you.
I think, Dr. Archana and, Saroj ma'am have already said, so I'm not going to further appreciate you. Let's take some questions from the students. I think Ranjan was...
Ranjan, please,
yes,
please allow
he
Ranjan.
was.
Yeah, he deserves.
Yes, Ranjan,
After
please.
that, only
Thank you,
students.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Sahil,
And
do
others
you
can
remember me?
meanwhile also if you want to write your questions, you can do that in the chat box, or you can ask to Ranjan, please.
Am I audible?
You are audible.
Sahil,
हाँ
do
रंजन जी
you remember?
नमस्कार, आपको सुन पा रहा हूँ.
हाँ, okay, Manish. Sahil, do you remember my face? This is the first question.
That would be very impolite.
No.
I mean, it's a googly for me. I would
You
say-
were in your third year when I joined the college as a history teacher, and Prabhakar asked me to interact with third year students, English honors students, and we discussed European history with rhinoceros as a text.
Yes, rhinoceros.
And I
Yes.
was listening to you very carefully, and you said that you were a mediocre student, you were not very good student. I just want to correct it. You are the best. Among the entire group, I feel there were 11 to 12 questions that were bombarded on me, and 95% were coming from you only. And I was really, really happy at that time that I am being a history teacher. I'm defending your questions, and we had a wonderful discussion on that day. And I'm not being rhetoric on it. When I say that, on that day only, I realized that we have a very good English department, and Sahil is going to do very good, and that is very much there. I wrote a comment that there is a transition from a literature person to a management group, and I can see that, and I can see the content also, that while describing things in front of someone who's from a management line, a literature person can only play with words, and that you have done wonderfully in this presentation too. And you have made everything so interesting that we were also mesmerized by the entire presentation. So it is not a question, rather it is a appreciation that I was willing to bring it in front of you, and that's why ma'am said wonderfully that I was dying to ask the question to you, and this question was in form of appreciation. And all the best for your life, Sahil. You rock. You look very handsome, and you will be a very, very big achiever. All the blessings.
Popular management guru.
Yeah, really.
Of
really.
world fame. Of world fame.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, students and also teachers, please notice how he kept everybody engrossed and involved. So everybody's interest was on point. So these are some certain things which are between the lines, which we have to observe. And Sahil, you're a very good role model for everybody.
Thank you, ma'am.
Very true. Very true.
And I would like to give credit to the English department, but many miracle happened during our tenure also. When we joined, there were students who could hardly write. Their grammar was terrible. And, one of them, in fact, I won't name him, who was called by some of the teachers, one of the teacher rather, that I really fear for this gentleman that he may not pass even. And that gentleman went on to become university topper. so during our stay in Shraddhanand from 2004 to 7, many miracles has happened. One of them is my passing economics, and still, be with economics. Economics is still with me, and it's part of my life. And now I enjoy economics. So I think ma'am is
we all think that Sahil was being modest in the beginning, Plus, even if he told the facts, it takes a lot of courage and confidence to start your talk like that and still be confident and still telling his success story, that how he emerged and being so grateful, being a source of inspiration and blessing to everybody. I really want his phone number, Dr. Palaka. Okay, now over to you.
Sure, ma'am. Yeah. Yes. Really, Sahil has evolved as a speaker and a trainer. I'm really proud of him. Yeah. Any other questions?
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
Oh yes, please. Ask,
Sir, I have a question regarding Bale Company. From
BHEL.
Sahil, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. So, in spite of many positivities and the fundamentals of Bale Company is like amazing, but when if I talk about its share, it's not it's not doing great. So,
Right.
can I get to know the reason behind it?
Yeah. So see, BHEL was the one company which was into thermal power equipment, mostly thermal power equipment. And after the Paris Accord, which happened, where India was also signatory to it. So now it is legally binding on us to ensure that our product do not pollute environment. So, so what do we do? Transition for a huge, power equipment to a newer technology which is cleaner and also cost effective, and also you have a profit over it, is a challenge. So my take on it is, perhaps BHEL could not foresee the future of cleaner technology, cleaner environment. And we stuck to, if you go to our annual report also, you'll find that more than 60% of the revenue still come from the thermal. And
Yes, sir.
the revenue from non-thermal is very less. So we missed the burst of diversification. That was also a strategic failure. Strategic failure in the sense that we could not foresee, our strategy were not in sync with the market forces. We never thought that thermal will take a backseat, and renewables like solar and other technology wouldn't. So if you look at our share in terms of renewable also, is that we are struggling. We're struggling. And you know what? The another important factor which is to be looked up, and I'm sure if the faculties from commerce and economics or finance, they know it, cash flow is also a very important indicator of how your stock performs. Yes or no?
Yes, sir, exactly.
So if you go to the BHEL's annual report, you will find a lot of BHEL money is stuck with the customer. A lot of BHEL money. So there was a crisis of cash flow also. See, you may show profit on the balance sheet, on your profit and loss statement rather. But if your cash flow, after all, to run your daily operation, you require cash, hard cash. And if there is no hard cash, then definitely it affects. See, any investor would not only look at your balance sheet, they will also look at your cash flow statement, they will look at your liability, and they will look at your diversification initiative where you are going. So these are the factors which is affecting our stock prices. Maybe if we were smart enough, I would say that if we would have taken good initiative to diversify into the area which is actually earning revenue for other company, we could have done it. But power sector, now there's another part, important factor which is affecting our share prices is the structural changes required in power sector. So if you look at our competitors, L&T, they have concluded their business in power sector. They are not into power sector. They have completely shifted into defense and into infrastructure. GE, the great GE, General Electronics, I mean, they also struggled. So every company, NTPC is actually doing well if you look at their share prices, because they are not into manufacturing, they are into generating electricity. So any company which is into manufacturing of thermal set is struggling, and BHEL is one of them. I hope I am able to answer your question.
Yeah, sir. Sure. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. And so it was a really amazing session. Thank you so much.
Great. Yeah.
Are there any questions? If not, I'll just pitch in. So Sahil, I'm just wondering, what are some of the possible entrepreneurships waiting for students of English literature?
That's a very good question that you have asked, Professor Palaka. and I was actually dying to, hear this question.
Okay.
As I said, that people world over, they're mostly confined to their houses, and they lack access to their friends. They are not moving out, and they're mostly at home. So two trends have emerged. One is people have started, buying pets, and especially dogs. So if you look at the dogs, the prices have gone up, and especially in European country, and more specifically in England. So pet is one area where a lot of people are investing. And then at the same time, they have also developed a good reading habit, which was lacking when you used to physically go out. See, traveling also takes a lot of your time. So now people are looking for good stuff to read, and especially especially in the crisis, you look for an inspirational something which is transformational, which could inspire you, which could make you resilient. And poems play a very, very important role. Rather, all the great management thinkers or the entrepreneurs, they always give the credit for their success on the poems, be it Steve Jobs, anyone, you name it, and they go back. So poems have very, very important play to make your mind resilient. After all, your mind requires intellectual stuff. So the English honors student can think of creating. There is a market for it. Now, how you can, you also have existing content. All you have to do is to take that content to your customer or the prospective buyer. Besides that, literature students also have an advantage of understanding of society. And in marketing, it is called consumer behavior. So consumer behavior is directly linked to the individual psychology. And literature is the one subject which gives you insight to everything: sociology, psychology, history, politics. We were lucky enough to read everything, be it political science or sociology or psychology. Everything was read in. Even the so-called many ideologies also we have read. We have read Marxism, we have read feminism. If I talk about Jane Eyre is all about women empowerment. Then somebody talked about Eugene Ionesco's Rhinoceros. Now, see, I think I passed out in 2007. I still remember. Rhinoceros is like against any form of ism, be it communism or be it capitalism. Extreme form of any ism can be devastating, isn't it? So for you also, there is a huge market. All you need to do is to start ideation. One is look for the ideas. And ideation does not can be done in one day. Maybe it take months and months. Start refining your ideas. Involve all the shareholders. Do a prototype. Prototype could be done at your home with your family members. You have a young students. You have relatives. Try to put it in practice with your friends and all. And then if it works, go to the market. The sky is the limit for you. So I'll tell you one. Many websites are there. Jashne Rekta and all. So for people who are keen in poetry, they go and they see, they are enjoying it also. And there many app-based learning system have also developed. So that could be one area where people can.
Great.
I wish to speak about
listening.
one struggle which we also, I don't know whether this struggle is still on. Our times there was no photocopy machine, and that was the only thing that we have struggled for 3 years. We always wanted to have a photocopy machine in the department. I hope now they have it, or at least
yes, we have it.
And also we scan through our phones only.
You scan it?
Use this, scan it and then make a PDF and have a soft copy.
What about the old canteen? We used to have a wonderful canteen in the new building.
It is still there.
Wonderful.
So canteen is still. I remember the canteen's famous bread pakoda and samosa was amazing.
This
Now
is
he
height
has
of
spring rolls.
rhetoricism.
Yeah, now they have spring rolls and patties also.
Now we have nothing.
Sahil ji, namaskar, Mr. Sahil. I am Manish sir.
Namaste Manish ji.
Sahil, Alipur.
Sahil लगता नहीं पहचान पाया.
Sahil, Alipur has also changed a lot. So many PGs have come up.
Yeah, nice PGs. Nice PGs.
As you have, yes, and as you have spoken, Swiggy has also, overtaken the delivery of samosas and.
Ma'am, there are restaurants too now.
Restaurants in the front of college, they are very good.
Yes.
Quite okay.
There are, and I think
Delhi 36 is now.
wonder if canteen is not working. This is how these big giants they have eaten up small fish.
Yeah. So Manish ji, I'm sorry, I could not. मतलब
नहीं साहिल जी, वो कोई दिक्कत नहीं, क्योंकि मैं और रंजन जी जो है ना 2006 में ज्वाइन किया था, आप 3rd ईयर में थे, और प्रभाकर जी के साथ उनके टीम में हम लोग कई सारे कार्यक्रम में एक्टिव रहते थे, तो आपको काफी देखा था। इनफैक्ट आप इंटरेक्ट भी करते थे, लेकिन ये वो लंबा दौर हो गया, इसीलिए वो उस तरह से। लेकिन बहुत अच्छा साहिल, गॉड ब्लेस यू, एक्सीलेंट। बहुत, ये तो अर्चना मैम और इंग्लिश डिपार्टमेंट का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि इतने कोहिनूर हीरा हो तुम। ग्रेट डियर, बहुत अच्छा।
और दूसरी बात साहिल, ऐसा कहाँ होता है कि टीचर्स पहचानते हैं बच्चे को इतना? हर टीचर तुम्हें पहचानता है।
साहिल बहुत है ना जेनरस, बहुत हम्बल, और अपना काम निकालने में माहिर था उस जमाने में भी।
सुनो मनीष, साहिल तो अच्छा है ही, वो तो बियॉन्ड डाउट प्रूव हो चुका, लेकिन टीचर्स कितने अच्छे हैं ये बता रही हूँ मैं। टीचर्स पहचानते हैं।
I'd like to there used to be a teacher named Mr. Khatri in economics. So definitely I will like to get in touch with him because economics एक ऐसा सब्जेक्ट था जो मुझे बहुत डर लगता था। और
वो हरिराम खत्री सर है ना, डॉक्टर हरिराम,
retired now, and Naresh ji is associated with him. He can really get him in touch with you.
Yeah, he's a thorough gentleman, Dr. H.R. Khatri. Yes.
Okay.
Very nice person.
There used to be a canteen across the old building inside the petrol pump, in that premise. Do we still have the canteen? There used not canteen, a small food joint. It's not a canteen,
yeah,
food joint. In and out, I guess. In and out.
A kiosk type of a thing inside.
Okay. And do you still have that old campus?
Yes, it is very much there and thriving with life.
Saroj Bala ma'am may not remember me, but my verification of the paper was done by ma'am in the old campus with the previous principal. It used to be Mr. Bhatt, I guess.
Yes.
One Kashmiri. So she was, ma'am, I remember you because you verified my paper there and then. And I met Palaka sir, when the results were out. I was doing BLLB in AMU. I didn't like the ambience there. So I thought of moving out of AMU, leaving BLLB. So I appeared, and then the admissions were closed everywhere. So I got to know that Shami Shaddanand is conducting a test. That year, the test was conducted for entrance at BA Honors. And I sat for the test, and I met for the first time Palaka sir at the old campus. And he had the list with him. And I was, like any other prospective student, I was very curious and equally nervous. And I had this negative mindset that I did not make it. I don't know. I didn't prepare, and I'm sure that I've not made it. And I asked Professor Palaka, and he was, he smiled and said, "You made it." So then Mr. Bhan also used to be a wonderful faculty. Anita Marwa ma'am taught us Pride and Prejudice. Very interesting personality also. She used to
yes.
She never sat on the chair. She used to sit on the desk.
And very warm person, very learned and warm person.
Very warm, and she used to tell us, "Yeah, we are very worried for."
Yes. Go on.
She used to say that we are very worried for you. I mean, you people have taken English honors, but many of you do not know how to write proper English. I don't know how you're gonna survive.
But I think that is her way of like everybody has their own way. Like I always motivate them by telling that you can do it. But ma'am, even if she said that, she would have believed in you because she is a person whom we look up to. And I can say now is the actual fond homecoming happening in the end. The bond, and like he's telling his memories, so very, very nostalgic feelings.
You know what? There is another important event in my life which I must share with all the students and the teachers here. When I got selected to BHEL, the HR messed it up, and it was with graduation marks. So the PSUs have a typical, they need certain percentage in graduation and PG to have you in the organization. So we went and we got shortlisted, and we were waiting for the offer letter, and somehow offer letter was not sent. So when we inquired, we were told that some of the students did not have first division in the graduation. So we told them getting first division in DU that time was it's a Herculean task. And I missed my first division with 4 marks. 59.66 was the exact percentage that I got. So I was like amazed. I was appalled. See, I wrote an examination, I cleared it, I went through the interview process, and now just because of 4 marks, I could not make it to BHEL. So I went to the board, one of the board member, and I tried to convince him that, see, please understand that getting first division in 2007 is a Herculean task, and mine is only 0.4%. So he said, no, it's our policy decision, it cannot be done. And then I was heartbroken. But then he said, can somebody watch for you, at least for this graduation thing? I need somebody who can watch for you, and somebody from English department. So I immediately asked Professor Palaka, this is the situation, can you help me? And I must give it to Palaka sir that, he did not, right away he shot a mail to executive director in BHEL, and he actually watched for us that, please understand that getting first division in English honors in 2007, and he in fact came up with numbers also, the percentage. So it was less than 10% that people got, and that's how, in a government organization, then first time they tweaked their policy to accommodate us. So I think whatever I was today, I'm here today also because of my teachers from Swami Shadanand, and I owe a big time to them. So.
Thank you so much, Dr. Palaka. You did a great thing.
Yeah,
So
there is
that
a
we got.
question, Archana ji. A student has been waiting for quite some time, I think.
Please allow the student.
Palaka?
Yes,
Pushkar.
anybody who wants
Yeah,
to.
a hand is raised called Pushkar.
Yeah, Pushpender wants to ask
Oh,
something.
please go ahead.
Pushpender. Pushpender, can you hear us? I think sometimes गलती से भी hand raise हो जाता है, तो please confirm. Touch हो जाता है ना, तो वो hand raise हो जाता है.
Right.
All in all, it was a treat, Sahil, today.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, I think, Dr. Saroj Bala has given the responsibility of vote of thanks to Dr. Naresh, I believe. Ma'am, over to you. You can.
Yes. Please invite Dr. Naresh to propose vote of thanks.
Yes, Naresh ji.
Am I audible to you guys, sir?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. It's an honor to have been asked to offer a vote of thanks on this occasion to the first alumnus talk, but I would rather call it a brainstorming session. It was not an alumnus talk; it was a brainstorming session organized by the Department of English, of course, under the guidance of the alumni committee. And first of all, I would like to thank our guest, former student, and the most interesting part of this session was, just imagine when a student becomes a teacher, and for the first time and for a change, most of us, we teachers, we were, we found ourselves on the other side of the podium, and the man, the student turned teacher was sweeping off the faculty with his questions. So that was fantastic. It was fabulous. It was sterling performance. It was flawless performance. And for the students, I would say it was a great lesson in public speaking skills. When we teach AECC to the students, we emphasize on this aspect. And the way you articulated yourself, the way you presented your perspectives, your opinions, your ideas, your knowledge, it was simply, the one word that comes to my mind is, it was terrific. And true to your name, Sahil means Kinara. So you weathered, that was another a motivating factor for the student, that how you weathered that storm, failing in Hindi, in economics. And now, reaching that Kinara, reaching that Manzil, and, turning into as my colleague Ranjan pointed it out. Honor student turning into a technocrat, a management guru, a master economist, and all combined into one. So it was a fantastic, a great motivating lecture, great presentation. So I thank you on behalf of the department. Our principal, sir, I'm greatly thankful to Professor Garg. You know, he is so positive, he is so, dynamic, and his leadership qualities these days, it has become a flavor in the discourse of Delhi University. So I'm thankful he graced the occasion. I'm also thankful to Dr. Archana, her idea of this, alumnus talks. It has been a fantastic idea. It has become a very popular, function of the program these days in our college. I'm thankful to our teacher in charge, Dr. Saroj Bala, and Dr. Plata, and all my worthy esteemed colleagues to have been there and listening patiently, kept attention. I'm also thankful to all our students who were there, and I'm sure they must have learned a lot and must have felt inspired. And if one thing, you talked about that, the difficulty that the teachers face during this online mode of teaching, that the students do not react. They don't respond. They just keep shut, they keep quiet. And sometimes we are, in some sort of a doubt whether the students are there in the class or not. So if your lecture has been able to motivate them to respond in the class, I think your job is done. So in that sense, I'm thankful to all the participants. It has been thought-provoking session. I'm really short of the appropriate words to express my gratitude and my thanks. Stay blessed. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you to
Thank you.
ma'am.
Thank you, Sahil. Yes. Sahil, I must tell you that